What's up, everyone? Welcome into the Cannonballs podcast. As always, I'm one of your hosts, Dane Cannon. Co-hosting with me today is
Rabbi.
you gonna say your name?
Your boy Jake pulls on the mic 1, 2.
And guys, we got a great episode for you today. We're going to be recapping Week 14 of the NFL 2022 season. This was a wild week, couple upsets that occurred, bunch of good games, couple surprising losses for a couple teams, but it's the NFL. Anything happens on any given Sunday. Some teams are rolling in hot continuously. Some teams are cooling off a little bit. Some teams are kind of on a roller coaster. But guys, like, comment, subscribe. We would really appreciate if you like it. It'll help us out. It'll help us grow. If you guys aren't already, give us a follow on our Instagram at cannonballs_podcast. Jake's been doing a good job of keeping the reels out there, even though we're both very busy with life, work, etc. You know the drill. Jake, you have anything to add before we start recapping it?
Yeah, I just want to let everyone know we are just going through Thursday through Sunday night. As it is, we are recording this episode Sunday night. We just dealt with some technical difficulties, but we are here live and in person. Well, it's not going to be live for you, but whatever. But yeah, man, this week was a lot of upsets. I feel like there's got to be at least a couple upsets every week, but there's quite a bit. Starting with the first game of the week, Thursday night, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
And when we recorded last week, we set out a mission to get every single pick right.
I don't know if we'll ever do that.
Nah, we definitely didn't do it this week. And
yeah, we were out first game of the week.
Yeah. And this game, it was just like, it was a perfect game. It was just typical Raiders, man. Like, right when you start believing in them, right when they start looking good, right when they play a game that they should win, a team that they should beat, they fuck it up. God damn, dude. The Los Angeles Rams beat the Raiders 17-16, and
this was a good comeback victory for the Rams. Baker Mayfield actually, dude, for being in the system and only knowing the playbook for 2 days prior to coming over, or prior to playing the game, he played lights out. Like, Baker Mayfield looked good. He looked better than Matthew Stafford has looked this year, which is kind of impressive to say the least. Matthew Stafford definitely wasn't having the best year. He didn't even have Cooper Kupp out there. They're getting rid of running backs left and right. Cam Akers actually had a pretty decent day. And I think the storyline is, no Aaron Donald, defense is banged up, and the Rams still outplayed the Raiders. They were kind of getting shit on in the beginning of the game. The Raiders kind of had their way with things, but I don't know, man. The Rams came back, picked off Derek Carr twice. Josh Jacobs still had a pretty good day. Nothing incredible. Had 99 yards, a touchdown, 27 carries, but Derek Carr, 137, 0 tuds, and 2 interceptions. But Baker Mayfield, 230 through the air, 1 touchdown, which was a beautiful pass to end the game. And, Cam Akers, only 42 yards, but it was something. I just think the storyline is the Rams defense came to play today. Or Thursday, excuse me.
Yeah, I think the Raiders fucked it up more than anything. I'm not trying to take anything away from Baker Mayfield. Like, what he did is impressive, but they didn't do anything in the second half, and the defense didn't do anything in the second half. They just pissed that game away. This is typical Raiders this year. You've seen the graphic where they have like 5 games where they've been up by like 17-0 or by multiple scores, and then they let the other team come back. Just add this to the resume. This is like I think there's something like the most comebacks or something by a team of multiple scores or some shit like that. I don't know. But god damn, dude, the Raiders fucking suck. This is a typical Raiders. But good for the Rams. This one they can definitely hang their hat on. we'll see if we'll see about Baker Mayfield because with the injuries to Stafford to Aaron Donald, I'm really interested to see what's going to happen to this Rams team. They won a Super Bowl. What's left? I mean, personally, I think they're going to go into rebuild mode. And I don't know if Matt Stafford, he went to a team that was a contender, and now that they're not, we'll see if he sticks around. And, Baker Mayfield could be the future. So we will see. But, I like Baker Mayfield at times. So we'll see.
Yeah, I definitely think he needs to stop headbutting people with his head when they're wearing helmets. Right. I don't know if this man's trying to speed up CTE or, just try and I don't know what it is. I like the enthusiasm. I like the craziness, but you got to be smart to a certain extent. Don't give yourself a fucking concussion.
Yeah. All right, let's so it was a fun Thursday night, right off the bat we both picked the Raiders and
Wrongo.
Wrongo. But let's get to the next game Sunday. First game, I got the Buffalo Bills beating the Jets 20-12.
I do as well, and I'll start this one off by saying, even though the Jets lost this game, kudos to Mike White, man. This guy hung in there. He got lit up. He got destroyed in the ribs. Yeah, he's got big cojones, man. Like, Mike White's a dog. And I respect the shit out of that because that one hit that you sent me on Instagram, Jake, he got lit up. He ended up going to the hospital after the game. He got carried off by an ambulance for possible internal injuries. So,
oh my God.
Guy's got balls of steel. But, 268 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, though. Bam Knight looked good. He had a tutty through the ground, and he was running tough. Even though the Jets continue to lose, they got grit, man. And this defense keeps them in every single game. Like, I really like the New York Jets defense. I think they're a solid unit. The Bills defense really stepped up today. I think they played out of their minds. Josh Allen looked okay. Wasn't getting too much through the air. Got a little bit going through the ground. Devin Singletary had a couple runs, but I think it was mostly the defense for Buffalo that won them this game and special teams. So, what I got.
I'll have to agree with you. Both these defenses stepped up, but I don't know if it's the Bills playing good defenses or if it's just they look off. Like, they don't look like what I thought they would at this point in the year. And I think they'll be fine. Like, they're gonna make playoffs. But I've been saying, like, they do this every year. They start off hot, get cold, and then they finish the season strong. So we'll see. It's just kind of the same old story. But the Bills defense really stepped up for them, and they beat a good Jets defense. The offense, it's way better with Mike White, but I think they're just missing too many pieces, especially on the ground game. Like, I know Zonovan Knight's been stepping up, but this offense was just completely different with Breece Hall. So it's a real shame that he got injured earlier in the season. But it's gonna be hard for them because they're fighting for the playoffs, and it's gonna be between them, the Chargers, the Patriots. Who else? That's really the main. You're muted.
Possibly the Dolphins.
Yeah, the Dolphins.
If they keep losing.
They are definitely cold right now. The way they've been playing these last 2 weeks, but I think the Jets will win a couple more games. This is already honestly, this is way past the expectations that we had, that most people had for the Jets. We thought
absolutely.
Most people thought they would be improved, but not playoff contender improved. So you know what? But they're not looking for a pat on the back. They want to make playoffs. Salah wants to make playoffs. I know he does. So, they just need to piece together a couple of wins. But a good win for the Buffalo Bills. Let's go on to the next game, Dane. Next game, Next game, I have the Cincinnati Bengals beating the Cleveland Browns 23-10. And I mean, it was a little slow start, I think, in this game. Deshaun Watson looked a little better, not
I still think
a
he
whole
looked
lot.
rusty.
Yeah, I
honestly.
mean, he hasn't played in 2 years or whatever, so that's gonna happen. But I mean, the Bengals, they finally, or Joe Burrow finally beat the Browns, so good for him. Jamar Chase had a game. Joe Burrow had a decent game. Joe Mixon had a decent game. I mean, what do you have to say about this game?
I think the connection between Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase is just out of this world. You know, that connection that they had in college really helps elevate their gameplay in the NFL. Joe Burrow looked really good. I think the Bengals defense stepped the F up today. They really shut down everything that the Browns were trying to do. I mean, Deshaun Watson did have 276 through the air, a touchdown, but he also did have that interception. But I think the biggest storyline is they could not get anything going through the ground. Nick Chubb was held at 34 yards, Deshaun Watson 33. Most of their yards were through the air, and it was Donovan People-Jones, who's been stepping up. Donovan People-Jones is a good player. But I don't think this game ever really felt close. I know at one point I think the Bengals were only up by like 6, I want to say. But, you know, the Bengals just kind of took the helm. They kind of controlled with the running attack. You know, Joe Mixon, Samaje Perine. Perine had another good run, by the way. I really liked that. And, I just think the Bengals controlled this game. They did everything that they needed to. It wasn't the highest scoring game. It was a good defensive game, but the Bengals defense looks really good right now. So I like what I'm seeing from the Bengals. They're on a little bit of a hot streak. They're 9-4 now. So Bengals are right where they should be.
Yeah, just one takeaway. I think what's his name? Their pass rusher. He got hurt. What that? Hendrickson? Is that his name?
I think so, yeah.
Trey Hendrickson? Or what is his
I believe
name?
so. I think it is Trey.
I'm gonna find this out. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to find this guy, but he broke his wrist, I think.
Oh,
So,
did he?
I mean, yeah. So that could be, bad for the team, obviously. So we'll, keep an eye on that. But good for the Bengals for finally winning. This next game,
Jesus
holy
Christ.
shit!
This one gave me a
Like-
heart attack. By the way, guys, both Jake and I did pick the Bills and the Bengals to win. So
Yes,
we are 2 for 3 as of right now. And we're going to go 3 for 4 if this is the game that I'm still thinking, even though it was a close one.
the Dallas Cowboys.
Yep, that's what I
Yeah.
got.
So the Dallas Cowboys beat the Texans by the hairs of their chinny chin chin,
Dude.
27-23, and holy shit!
Prescott almost
dude.
pissed this game away with that last-minute interception. That was garbage. That was
Yeah.
garbage.
Yeah. If they played any resemblance of a good team, this game would have been over. But oh my god, dude, the Cowboys look bad. Like
They did.
for
Not even their defense was really
No.
looking that great. I mean, Davis Mills actually looked like he was getting away with things. Damian Pierce was running pretty well. Jeff Driscoll came in a little bit, but dude, even the Houston Texans defense looked like they wanted to play today. They were playing upset for sure. Lovie Smith had this team playing hard, and I really respect that. I don't know necessarily if that Dallas was just trying to have like a bye week where they were like, they kind of overlooked their opponent and kind of looked forward to their next matchup, which is a possibility. But you almost lose at home to the Houston Texans. Like, that's garbage. I don't know what happened. They ended up winning, so good for Dallas. You know, a win's a win. But you can't look like that, especially if you're a playoff caliber team when you're playing the worst team in the NFL. The Houston Texans have one win, and you cannot look like that, especially if you're going to be going to the playoffs and hoping to finally have a playoff win in 27 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not acceptable.
Yeah, that was just man. That was like that's the type of game that shakes your confidence in this team. Is it going to be the same old sorry ass Cowboys that choke in the playoffs every year? I don't know now. Like before this game, I would have been like, oh, maybe they'll finally win a game. But now, like, oh, it's just the same old Cowboys, man. Man, they just got lucky breaks. Honestly, like they deserve to lose that game, and they are very lucky that they won that game. I mean, not all games can be, blowouts, but god damn, like,
you got to look better against the Houston Texans.
Yeah, it should not have been that close.
Especially with Dallas's defense, you should have shut them down. Let's be real, and you didn't.
I mean, the run game looked decent at times for the Cowboys. I mean, Tony Pollard looked really good at times.
Zeke had that big game-winning touchdown basically near the end as well. So, I mean, Dallas still did some good things, but it was sloppy. Most of this game was sloppy. It was all over the place. It was a roller coaster of emotion. I know Dallas fans were freaking out, wondering what the hell is happening to my team. I genuinely think they overlooked the opponent and just kind of tried saying, like, it's the Houston Texans. We don't need to play that hard. And they got caught and they got punched in the mouth. You know, they still ended up winning, but they took some damage.
Yeah, this was the Houston Texans in the beginning of the season when they still had like some fight in them. They actually showed a little bit of fight today, and they almost played upset. You know, unfortunately, it didn't go their way, but yeah, good for them for almost beating the Cowboys.
Yeah,
but so that was like one of the first big upsets. This next game, it's not really.
It wasn't an upset though. It didn't happen.
Well, almost upset.
Almost upset. Got you.
Yeah. So this next game technically wasn't an upset because the Vikings were underdogs in this game.
Surprisingly,
according to Vegas,
I did not even expect that, dude. I thought we were just having a hot take, but I'm still glad that we took this. I am running with you, Detroit. I hope Detroit fans listen to this podcast because I freaking love the Lions right now.
Yeah, man. So the Detroit Lions beat the Minnesota Vikings 34-23, and it wasn't that close.
No,
it wasn't that close at all, honestly. Dude, Jared Goff is just having a resurgence in his career. Well, see, he does this, and then he freaking has terrible ass games. So I'm just gonna pump the brakes a little bit, but he looked really good today, and he has weapons. I mean, Jameson Williams.
First career NFL reception was for a 60, 50-yard touchdown. That was beautiful. Love to see it. Love the enthusiasm on the sideline. I'm not going to pump the brakes on Jared Goff, and here's why. The only games that he's had bad performances in is when his team was injured. When he didn't have Amon-Ra out there, when DeAndre Swift was banged up. When you limit the receiving core that you have, I mean, Reynolds was like your top receiver at one point. And when you have Reynolds as your top receiver, obviously that's going to kind of limit the options that you can call from the playbook. And I don't know. I think he will have games against tougher defenses, but I would say over the last 5 weeks, over a month, I would say he's looked solid as F.
Yeah, well, I'm pumping the brakes because when he plays good. When he plays good defenses, he tends to choke. Minnesota's defense has, I thought they've been looking good, but I mean, I guess statistically they're in the bottom 5 of the league. So, there's a reason why the over-under was 54.5 for this game. But no, yeah, the Lions look good, man. I think Jared Goff had 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, 330 and 3.
Game, yeah. So the rushing game was okay, but DeAndre Swift is still coming off, being injured or whatever. But I think they had 2 different. No, they only had 1. Justin Jackson scored of all people. Isn't that your boy from the Chargers?
Yep.
So yeah, but I mean, Jared Goff hit 3 different receivers, just spread it all over the place, and then the defense got after it, man.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest takeaway is Detroit's defense shut down the run. Dalvin Cook could not get anything going. He only had 23 yards on the ground. He did have the touchdown, but Alexander Mattison came in for 2 plays and got -1 yards. Kirk Cousins balled out, though. I'm going to say that. There were a couple questionable throws, but he threw for 425 yards and 2 tutties. Justin Jefferson had over 200 of those yards, by the way, and didn't even have a touchdown on the day. I mean,
Yeah.
the receptions were there. They played tough. It was, I don't know, man. Since they couldn't get things going on the ground, like it threw off their game plan. And I think Detroit did a really nice job of stopping, the Minnesota Vikings. And historically, Detroit has been known to get at least one on the Minnesota Vikings. So Jake and I kind of did predict this one, and it came to fruition.
We did predict this one. And I just want to say Justin Jefferson is fucking awesome. 223 yards receiving. Holy shit, bro. Minnesota, you don't deserve Justin Jefferson.
Send him to the Chargers.
Yeah, send him to the 49ers. You're going to waste his career.
Jesus, 49ers, give me a break.
But
send him to a team that needs him.
Send him to a team where he can actually win.
Dude, I guarantee Jay Herbo has Justin Jefferson, Jay Herb and Jay Jets. Be magic.
Yeah. Or it wouldn't. Or they would choke. Anyways, so good win for the Detroit Lions. They are in playoff contention.
Yes, they are.
I mean, we'll get to this team later, but the Seahawks lost. They're right there, man. They're 6-7, one game away from being 500, and they could easily sneak into playoffs. I was looking at their schedule. It's winnable, man. I'm rooting for the Lions, man. I am 100% rooting for the Lions.
Likewise.
This next game, man, I thought it'd be a little bit closer, but it was just a complete blowout. The Philadelphia Eagles destroyed the New York Giants 48-22.
Yeah.
And it wasn't close, at all. I mean, this just solidifies for me that the Eagles are the best team in the NFL, and Jalen Hurts is the MVP. I don't think it's I don't even think it's up for debate at this point. Because the Giants have been I didn't realize they're 1-5-1 or 1-4-1 in their last 6 games. That's pathetic.
I think they started off 7-2, if I'm not mistaken.
So
I think this is the Giants kind of coming back down to reality a little bit. They started off super hot, but I think this team I don't know. They had a hot start, but they have injuries. They don't have the weapons on the offense. Daniel Jones isn't the greatest quarterback. So they're just kind of coming back down to where they should have been, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think it was Daniel Jones that much. He did look okay. He didn't throw any interceptions. He didn't air it out crazy, but I just think, and Saquon Barkley was hurt in this game. He didn't get a whole lot of touches, so they were giving it to Wayne Gallman and Matt Breida or
Gary Brightwell.
Yeah, Gary Brightwell. Who the hell is that? But so they were definitely missing him. I just think they need a threat in the receiving. I mean, Darius Slayton did his thing. Richie James got the touchdown, but I mean, this is a top tier defense. I think they need someone to stretch the field, man.
They definitely do. I'm right there with you.
I hope they address it in the draft or in the offseason because they definitely need it. To me, this team's like the Ravens. Solid defense. Good run game, but they need a downfield threat where they can stretch the field out. But man, the Eagles. I mean, I have really nothing else to say about the Giants. The Eagles,
they're just the most dominant team right now. I mean, they had a kind of little lull in the offensive side of things for a period of time, especially in the second half. But dude, they're firing on all cylinders. AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Miles Sanders, Jalen Hurts. I mean, this team just has weapons everywhere, and I think that there is still debate for who could win MVP, but I think Jalen Hurts is the front runner for my vote. I think that he's done enough through the air, through the ground. He just looks like a top tier quarterback right now. He's playing out of his mind. He's getting the ball to everyone. I mean, dude, there's nothing to not like about the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, they're 12-1 for a reason. I mean, they've already punched in their playoff ticket. I mean, there's not a shot in hell that they don't go to playoffs with 12 wins. That's unheard of.
Yeah.
Now
No,
it's
I
just
think
kind
they
of figuring out if they're going to win the division or if they're going to win the number one overall seed, in my opinion.
yeah, they definitely clinched the playoff berth today. So good for the Eagles. Congratulations, you're the first team to do it. But I mean, shit. I mean, the next closest team is Minnesota, and they're still 2 or 3 games behind them. So
Yeah, 10-3. Dallas is 10-3.
Yeah, I don't. I think the matchup with the Cowboys, that's gonna be a that's gonna be a fun game.
Agreed.
Hopefully the Cowboys step up, but yeah, the Eagles look really really good right now. Pretty scary. But yeah, I mean, good for the Eagles. Just dismantle the division rival. On to the next game. This game. So we did predict the Eagles to win. This next game, we went for the, I guess, upset. I don't really know if it's an upset. Actually, I think technically the Ravens were the underdog, but Baltimore Ravens beat the Pittsburgh Steelers 16-14. And
Okay, I want to say this really quick.
yes,
I think if Kenny Pickett was healthy, the Steelers would have won this game. It's an assumption. I mean, but when you have Kenny Pickett had been taking care of the ball recently, and Mitchell Trubisky threw 3 ugly interceptions. Ugly. He still made some good throws, still made some good plays. But I mean, there was no rushing attack for the Steelers. Deontay Johnson looked good. George Pickens still makes plays where you're like, that's a good play. But the Baltimore defense stepped up. Baltimore Ravens stepped up, and I think their running attack stepped up. You know, J.K. Dobbins had 120 on the ground. Tyler Huntley didn't really throw the ball at all. He had 88 yards total. It was mostly the defense stepping up and then the rushing attack for Baltimore. They controlled the clock. They just rushed when they needed to. I think if Pittsburgh had Kenny Pickett, it would have been a different story, but that's my opinion.
Yeah, I think so too. It's just so weird because like Mitchell Trubisky, like he'll make plays, and I'm just like, where the hell is that coming from? And then he'll throw an ugly ass interception. It's just so hot and cold. And I mean, you can't win. You can't win. You can't be a starting quarterback in this league because I mean, every quarterback can make throws. That's what you're in the NFL to do. It's just you have to do it consistently. But yeah, I mean, hopefully Kenny Pickett's not too badly injured. I think it was dealing with a concussion, correct?
To be honest, I'm not entirely sure what the injury was. I didn't get to see it live, and I didn't really check, to be honest.
Yeah. So the Pittsburgh Steelers are 5-8 right now, and you know, in order to get to be 500, they're gonna have to win out. And
yeah, the best they can finish is 9-8 if they win out, which there's a slight chance that they could make playoffs with that record. But I think we all kind of see what's coming. I mean, if Pittsburgh loses one more, Mike Tomlin's going to have his first losing season as a NFL head coach, and he'll probably lose his shit. But, you know, Pittsburgh fans, they're not used to it, especially with the Mike Tomlin era. They've never had at least a winning record every year. I think that if Kenny Pickett misses next week, it's going to be tough for them to win, especially with Mitchell Trubisky turning the ball over the rate that he does. I mean, he throws so many interceptions or puts the ball on the ground through a fumble. I mean, I'll give him a little leeway. Like maybe he would throw a couple less interceptions. Maybe he'd only throw one because he hasn't played for weeks. Kenny Pickett kind of took the helm and, you know, has kind of run off with the job. But we'll see, man. I think Pittsburgh's defense can still play ball. They've been looking better the last couple weeks, but I do worry about this offense with Mitchell Trubisky at the quarterback position.
Yeah, the Pittsburgh defense, I mean, it was a defensive game for the most part. There's just turnovers after turnovers, stops after stops. You know, both defenses played good. It was just the Ravens edged them out. And I think you hit it right on the head with, you know, Kenny Pickett being out was the, you know, deciding factor, turnover game. But, you know, good for the Ravens. I did not believe that they could win, but we'll see where they go from here. Next game, man, we did not predict this one.
Nope.
Jacksonville Jaguars manhandled. Yeah.
Thrash the Titans.
thrashed them. You had it right. 36-22.
Trevor
Man.
Lawrence had one of the best games of his career, if not the best game of his career.
Yeah, this was his best game of his career for sure. How many touchdowns did he throw? Three touchdowns,
368 yards through the air, 0 interceptions. He also had a rushing touchdown. So he had 4 total touchdowns on the day. He looked amazing. And I am so surprised by this. Evan frickin' Ingram, bro, balled out.
Yes.
He looked like an elite tight end today. 162 yards through the air and 2 touchdowns. That one touchdown where he basically mossed someone, not moss, but like, you know, it was an insane catch. Like, he balled out, dude. He balled the F out.
Yep. Good job, Evan Ingram. This is also your best game of your career. Man, I mean, they just manhandled the Titans. You know, the defense stepped up. They stopped. I think they held Derrick Henry to like 16 yards rushing in the second half. That's insane, dude.
Yeah, I mean, Derrick Henry still had a good amount of rushing yards, but he put the ball on the ground, I think, twice.
And it was all in the first half. You know, it was a close game in the first half, but then the Jags defense stepped up, stopped Derrick Henry, and everybody knows if you stop Derrick Henry, this team is, because they're one-dimensional as F. But, you know, of course, freaking Westbrook-Ikhine scored to, you know, destroy my fantasy playoff hopes. If you guys didn't know, I'm in playoffs right now, and I just went 1 and done. But enough about me. The Jags, man, the Jags are so weird. Jags are so weird.
They're streaky, man. It's like a roller coaster, up and down. They have games where games like the Titans and games like the Chargers, they just blow teams out sometimes. And the defense
games like the Lions.
Yeah,
they get blown out.
Yeah, it's, I don't know, man. Like, the defense balled out today, but I think the biggest thing is Trevor Lawrence. If he keeps playing like he did today, and if Evan Ingram could keep up the way he did, and utilizing like Christian Kirk here and there, and Zay Jones, like, this team could be dangerous. I mean, it's hard when – is Travis Etienne still injured, by the way? No, he was in there. He only had
70 carries.
Yeah.
So, I mean, personally, like, I think Travis Etienne is good. I think they need to get, like, a bigger running back. Just like a, you know, like
he's
how
a
the
good
Cowboys
scat
do it.
back, especially like, yeah, they could utilize him as like a Tony Pollard-esque running back, and then get like more of a bruising back to take the James Robinson role that was once there. But, you know, losing James Robinson kind of puts him in a little bit of a pickle. But, you know, you have JaMychal Hasty, right?
Yeah. I just don't think he's a bell cow kind of guy. He's smaller in stature. I think he's good as hell. I don't want him to get injured from getting, you know, overworked. But you know, good win for the Jags, man. Like, they impressed me. This is above expectations already. They're at 5 wins. I mean, they're 2 away from the lead. I still don't see them taking that crown. I mean, the Titans are still a good team. I guess.
The Titans are definitely on a cold streak right now. They've been playing like
3
shit.
in a row. Have they lost 3 in a row?
I will tell you that in just a sec, but I know that they are struggling right now.
I'm pretty sure they lost 3 in a row. So they are definitely in a cold streak. But, I mean, if I had to put money on it, I'm still taking the Titans to win this division.
Yeah, this is 3 in a row. They lost to the Bengals, the Eagles, and now the Jags.
Yeah, so, I mean, 2 playoff teams and 1 up-and-coming team. So, you know, kind of a hard schedule for the Titans, but maybe they'll get some easy wins or easier opponents coming up. But a good win for the Jags. Let's move on to the next game, Dane.
All right, let's do it. This game was kind of surprising, to be honest.
Dude, I was rooting for the
Broncos.
Yeah.
So the next game, Kansas City Chiefs traveling to Denver to play the Broncos, and this was probably Russell Wilson's best game of the year for him so far.
It definitely was.
And it only came in pretty much the second half, it felt like. I mean, I think he had 1 touchdown in the first half, but they were down 27 to nothing at one point. And then
Dude.
and then in the second quarter they did come back. They scored 14 points, but I was just thinking, Jesus Christ, how bad is this going to get? And then out of nowhere they scored 21 unanswered points, and it was like, what is happening? What am I watching? Is this Freaky fucking Friday?
Bro, okay. when Russell Wilson threw that interception and it was
Tried
the pick
tackling,
six play, and
just got
the dude,
stiff-armed.
bro, and the way he like fell
just
on his
laid
face.
Dude, he just laid there. Dude, I think at that point, because that was, I think, when they went up 27-0. I'm pretty sure Russell Wilson just stared at the ground and was like, I hate this career. Like, Denver hates me. I'm going to get killed. And then he balled out. He balled out a little bit.
Yeah, but then he, scary sight. He got hurt. He say what you will about Russell Wilson. He does want to win. He just hasn't been good this year. And he did a scramble play and he got taken down hard. And this is why, turf needs to be fucking banned. Turf is shit. Get that shit out of here, bro. Like, you're fucking $1 billion companies and you can't or you want to spend or save money by putting turf. Come on, dude. Get some nice lush grass.
Agreed.
But yeah, he got freaking tackled. His head landed face first into the turf, and it was a pretty scary sight. Not as scary as
Mike White,
Tua's or Mike White or Mark Parham, or what's his name, Parham on the Chargers.
Donald Parham.
Yeah, Donald Parham. So it was still pretty scary because he was just like, yeah. So he'll probably be out next week. But Brett Rypien came out, or Rypien, Brett Rypien. He came in and
Rypien, dog.
He kind of stepped up a little bit, and
he threw a touchdown.
Yeah. So
also,
yeah, I mean,
interception.
The Chiefs won though, so I guess good for the Chiefs.
This was a very weird game for Patrick Mahomes because he looked good. I mean, he made some ridiculous plays, but he also threw 3 interceptions.
Yeah,
which is kind of surprising.
I think it was just playing against the good defense. I mean, like we've been saying, the Broncos, that's a top 5 unit. It just hasn't really translated to wins.
I think the surprising thing is Jerick McKinnon led the receiving corps for the Chiefs with 112 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Like, of course, Jarrett McKinnon goes off, and I need Isaiah Pacheco to go off, and, he didn't. I will say this, though. Isaiah Pacheco runs harder.
Hard. Yeah,
Dude, he runs harder than any player I've seen in a long time. Like,
and he rushes back. Like, as soon as he gets tackled, he's up. And he just has a different gear, which he's like a Max Crosby at the running back. Like, his gear is just different. He just has juice. And it's fun to watch him. I mean, he's a young rookie from Rutgers, I'm pretty sure. And, he took the starting job away from Clyde Edwards-Helaire because he actually cares about winning. It seems like Clyde kind of just pooped the bed.
Yeah.
But good win for the Chiefs. I mean, this was to be expected. It was not expected to be this close, but, good win for the Chiefs.
Yep. We both picked the Chiefs, and, yeah. So far we have, like, what, three wrong picks?
So we have the Titans, we have the Steelers, and then we also have the
Rams.
Rams, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna switch this order just so we can do our games back to back. But this other game was very surprising. Actually, not too surprising because when we were making our picks, I was kind of hesitant on picking the Seahawks just because they've been kind of
lukewarm recently.
Yeah, lukewarm. And the Panthers, like, they've played teams good. Like, they're in playoff contention right now, man. They have a chance to win. God damn, they have a chance to win the division. What the hell?
This is literally the NFC East 2 years ago.
Yeah, or the freaking NFC West, like 10 years ago. If you guys are old enough to remember that, but the Panthers shocked the world and beat the Seattle Seahawks at home, or the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle, 30-24. And dude, it wasn't even Sam Darnold. It was the defense, first of all. I mean,
I'm pretty sure they had 2 interceptions from Geno. And Geno still had a good day overall because he had 3 touchdowns. But yeah, they had 2 takeaways, and they got the ground game running. They got the rushing attack going. Both Deontay Foreman and Chuba Hubbard looked good.
They manhandled that Seahawks defense at the end. When they were icing the game, there was nothing that defense could do to stop them. They were just running it up the middle. What's that line from Marshawn Lynch? You keep running and running and running in a motherfucker's face. That's what they did. They fucking beast quake mode them, and they fucking upset them. And you know what? We already lost a couple rounds, so I was not mad about this because now, I mean, we'll get to them later. But the 49ers are up by 2 games. The Seattle Seahawks are fucking dwindling.
Dude,
Man,
you have said the F word like 5 times in the last 30 seconds.
Suck my dick, dude.
Oh my God.
But you know, good win by the Panthers. You know, and
this was a good win.
You know, you were saying
J.C. Horn, by the way. I want to say that,
dude.
J.C. Horn is a good cornerback.
Yeah, he looks
South
really
Carolina
good.
Boy.
He looks really good. I mean, geez, man. Sam Darnold didn't look terrible. Like, he made some plays. He was on the move. He threw the ball away. I think that was one of my biggest takeaways from Sam Darnold was he didn't try to thread the needle. If nothing was there, he would just throw it away. So, you know, and he didn't have any interceptions, which was a huge bump for this team. And, you know, if he threw 3 interceptions, he could have been like Mitchell Trubisky and freaking lost the game.
Yeah.
So, you know, good for the Panthers. Like I said, this team is right in the thick of things. They're fighting for their playoff hopes. I mean, they've already beaten the Bucks. Who's to say they can't beat them again? I mean, they beat the Falcons. Who's to say that? I don't know if they played twice already, but man, the Panthers. It's weird though because like, do you feel like they're messing up their chances at getting like C.J. Stroud or what's the dude from Alabama? I mean, it's like it's so hard.
Bryce Young.
Yeah, Bryce Young. It's so hard because like, I mean, you want to play for the guys that are on your team right now and, you know, fight for a playoff spot, but it's like also you want to think of the future. It's a very hard debate.
It sucks because I think they're doing the right thing by like trying to win games. Cause I mean, it's kind of a cop out when like you say, all right, let's tank. I mean, it's a disservice to the fan base to a certain extent because like some fan bases like myself, you know, sometimes I want the team to tank because it's like, all right, what are we going to do if we make it to playoffs? You're going to get blown out unless you're a Cinderella story in the making. Dude, if they end up just like making playoffs and then just being like the New York Giants the year they won the Super Bowl at like 8-8 or whatever, dude, I would just be like, what is happening? I don't see it.
Shit.
I don't think it's going to happen, but it would be one hell of a story, especially led by Sam Darnold. My God.
If Sam Darnold wins the Super Bowl before the 49ers win a Super Bowl, I'll probably just stop watching football.
Dude, for real. But then you know it's not rigged because who the hell wants Sam Darnold and the Panthers to win the Super Bowl?
Oh, my God.
Sorry, Panthers fans. We're just making jokes.
Yeah, but I mean, this was a huge win. This was a huge win for a lot of teams. You know,
especially for playoff aspirations.
Yeah, for the Seahawks playoffs, for the Panthers, for the Niners, for the Bucks, for the Falcons. This was huge. This was a huge upset, and it's going to shake things up. So, and actually, the Seahawks are out of playoff contention right now, and the Commanders moved in. So, yeah, I mean, good for the Panthers, man. I like it. I'm not mad. All right, this next game.
This was a blowout and a half.
Can I get a big cock Brock?
Dude, Brock Purdy came in and dude, he came in and stepped the F up, man. I mean, that one touchdown that who was it?
Ayuk?
No, I think
McCaffrey.
Was it? Yeah, McCaffrey. And I was like worried that McCaffrey, like, because the defender kind of knock the ball loose a little bit. But then McCaffrey's footwork, dude, is just elite and just got both feet in. But dude, Brock Purdy his pocket presence awareness was outstanding. He stepped up when he needed to. He scrambled when he needed to. He dropped balls perfectly. Dude, what happens if you guys win a Super Bowl with Brock Purdy? Does Trey Lance lose his starting job? Does Jimmy G lose his starting job? What happens with the quarterback room? Who gets the starting role next year?
Well, this is what I think happens. I think it just shows that, like, I mean, I love Jimmy G. Like I said, I love him, but I also like have my my issues with him. But this just this is why, like, I
Your
have
reservations.
real quick. Yeah, I mean, real quick, the 49ers blew the Tampa Bay Bucks 35-7. But this is why I had so much confidence in this team, because they don't build around the quarterback. They just build a good team. And literally they could throw any quarterback in that team, and who knows the system, and I think they would be fine, honestly. And that's why, like, if Jimmy G leaves, like, yeah, he's done a lot for that team, for our team and shit, but I think, like, dude, I think they're going to be fine with Brock Purdy, honestly, and I like what he does. But the thing is, like, with Trey Lance, I think he definitely has more upside than Brock Purdy. He definitely has more athletic ability. He has a bigger arm. It's just if he can piece together everything.
What if Brock Purdy is starting another Tom Brady Cinderella story? Late round draft pick. I mean, Tom Brady, I don't think was Mr. Irrelevant, but Mr. Irrelevant, he's looked good. I mean, his stats aren't like off the charts or anything, but the throws that he does make are consistent and accurate. And that's all you need in this offense. I mean, Christian McCaffrey went off today also, 119 yards, 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
But
yeah. No, I mean,
this defense is just nasty. Let's be real. Tom Brady got destroyed. He got destroyed today.
Yeah, the only thing I wish was Nick Bosa could have gone a sack against them. Unfortunately, he didn't. No, but I mean, honestly, I think, like, with Trey Lance and Brock Purdy, I think they're gonna compete, and, you know, the better quarterback's gonna win out, and that's good. I mean, competition. Like, I could care less who starts. The only thing I care about is wins. Like, whoever takes us to the Super Bowl and wins, hey, the keys are yours, my guy. But this team is just firing on all cylinders. The defense is number one for a reason. The offense is finally, like, clicking. Like, it looks really good. Like, and this isn't like a chump defense. This is the number 8 defense in the NFL. Like, they're a good defense, and they got diced up. You know, unfortunately, Debo did get hurt. But
it's not serious, though, I heard.
Yeah,
right?
Well, haven't confirmed anything, but there's optimism. You know, originally it was thought to be his knee, but it looks like it's going to be a high ankle sprain. So, you know what? Best case scenario, you know, maybe he's out for a couple weeks, maybe just the regular season.
Playoffs.
Yep. So, you know, the 49ers are in control of their destiny. You know, they could potentially win out the way the Vikings are play. They could probably get into that second seed. Yeah. So I like the 49ers. I still have faith in them. And this just confirms it. Like, this was a good test for me against a good defense. And Brock Purdy has it. Like, I think he's fine. I think the 49ers are going to be fine.
Agreed. I agree with everything that you just said.
And now we have your boys, the Chargers, upsetting the Dolphins 23-17. And real quick, only thing I want to say is this was Justin Herbert's best game of his career. There's a couple best games of his career. In my opinion, this was his best game I've seen Justin Herbert. He was slicing. He was dicing. Bro, this is the best season. Well, okay, maybe not of his career, but
of this season,
for sure. Of this season. Like, for sure. Like, it's debatable of his career, but for sure of this season. This is the best Justin Herbert's, like, all season. And you know what? He had Mike Williams back. He had Keenan Allen. Austin Eckler did his thing. Man, the freaking defense. What the fuck? Dude, the defense stepped up.
So this. Okay. So for those of you who don't know, I bet against my Chargers, and I'm in a football
Never
pool,
do that.
and I was one of 3 people who made it to Sunday night. If Miami would have won, it would have been me and one other person going against each other in points for $850. I didn't think the Chargers had a fucking chance because Derwin James was out. We still have Farrell in there at right tackle, who's garbage, absolute garbage. Bryce Callahan, our other starting cornerback, is out. We only have Morgan Fox on the defensive line interior, who's a starter. Like, and we held, like, what was Miami's, like, rushing yards? This was the best they've done against the run all season. The most yards.
92 total rushing yards.
Yeah, Raheem Mostert was held to 37. Tua had 28 from scrambles. Good for him. Jeff Wilson, 26. But Tua, I think the biggest storyline is everyone thought that, like, Tua's having, like, this all-star year and, like, he's in the MVP category. He looked like crap tonight.
He's
I don't
looked
know
like crap the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I don't know what happened tonight, but if Brandon Staley was just giving his players HGH, hey, by all means, just fucking cheat. I don't give a shit at this point. But yeah, the Chargers stepped up. They broke my heart, but they made me happy at the same time. It was a bittersweet feeling because we got this game wrong. I lost out on potentially winning $850, but the Chargers keep their playoff hopes and aspirations alive, and they stepped up.
Yeah, they stepped up big time, man. Man, they stepped up big time.
This is what the defense should have been looking like.
Yeah, and
Like,
it's just
for real.
crazy. It's crazy because they have all these defensive starters hurt. Like, they're rolling with third and fourth stringers right now, and they look good. They look good today, man. Maybe they just any given Sunday kind of thing, but they look good today. I will say, like, the only offensive touchdown that the Dolphins had was on a freak play.
Yeah, that was the weirdest. And it's funny because I was like, oh, here we go. Chargers luck 101. Like, just the most random way that teams can just beat the Chargers. I was like, they strip the ball. You think that they're going to recover a fumble. And then out of nowhere, from the pile, it shoots out right into Tyreek Hill's arms. What? What the fuck was that?
And then he runs for, 60
yards
or whatever it
for
was?
a touchdown, yeah.
Yeah. Stupid.
Like, freak play.
81 yards. 81 yards? No.
I don't think it was 81 yards.
They're not calling
Yeah,
it
no.
a rush.
No,
Huh.
he had 81 reception yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
And like,
So-
I want to give credit to Michael Davis. Michael Davis, even though he did let that big play by Tyreek Hill happen, he was right in stride and he kind of got tripped up a little bit. But, I think he played really well. I think Jazir Taylor stepped up, who's our backup cornerback, and he's one of our best special teams players. And I don't know, man. Without Derwin James out there, I thought they had no shot, especially against Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, Raheem Mostert. Like,
Bro.
this game was just like, what the hell? Like, where has this team?
Jalen Waddle didn't do anything. 2 for 31.
They locked him down, dude.
Mm-hmm.
They locked. I don't know. I don't even know what to say about my team right now because it's like, where has this been? Where has this been?
They're only one game behind the Dolphins now, and they're in playoff contention now. So
Yeah, they have the same record as the New York Jets now.
yeah, so I mean, we'll see what happens tomorrow with the Patriots and the Cardinals, but good for the Chargers, man. They're right there, man. I hope that Justin Herbert can play like this every game because when he does, they're just a different team. Obviously, like when your quarterback plays, you're a different team. They have all their they have a lot of their players. Actually, they have all their players on offense now, besides a couple offensive linemen.
Like
their weapons?
Yes. Yeah. Their
so
wide receiving core was out there.
Yeah, so they have all their weapons. What was that? Was that Josh Palmer who made that beautiful sideline catch?
Mm-hmm.
God damn, that shit was sexy. God, man, yeah. I love watching Justin Herbert play. I love watching him ball out, and I've been
Especially
waiting for
that like
this.
long deep bomb to Mike Williams. That was beautiful. I mean, he had two big passes to Mike Williams, but the second one was just right in stride. It looked like that one touchdown he had against New York a couple of years ago, or last year, excuse me.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, it effed up our picks. I think we got, 4 wrong? 5 wrong?
I think we got 4 wrong. I'll count them right now. So we got 1. Oh, Jesus Christ. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 5 wrong.
Well, yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Definitely not perfect. But we still have tomorrow. Let's go Cardinals, I guess. Never say that again. Yeah, no. It was a pretty fun week. What was your biggest takeaway from this week, Dane?
The NFL this year is freaking out of control. It's wild. I think it's so hard to pick teams this year. Everyone's, I mean, there are consistent teams, don't get me wrong. Like, there are teams that are just doing their business, especially the Eagles. But this has been like one of the most like upset central years in recent memory in my last 5 years of watching the NFL, I would say. Like, I feel like any team can win except the Houston Texans. They almost won, but they just haven't been able to string it together.
Yep. It was a fun Sunday.
Yep. But guys, that's going to wrap it up for us tonight. Like, comment, subscribe, give us a follow on our Instagram at cannonballs_podcast. It's our main social media platform. Talk shit, do whatever you want,
Hey.
Hit us up. Let us know more about your team, since unlike you guys, obviously Jake and I know a lot more about our specific teams, me, the Chargers, him, the 49ers. We're trying to recap like all of your teams. So give us a little bit of a break. Inform us. Just try and be like somewhat polite about it. Like, don't be like, you freaking idiot, like you didn't even notice this. It's like, yeah, because I'm trying to watch every game, so give us a break.
Yeah.
But
you watch every game, break down every game, work, go to school, and run all this shit. But actually, we've been telling people to talk to us, talk shit. We had one person, a Chris Schmidt 380. He said having the Cowboys in the top 5 is insane. Both Dallas and Minnesota are weak teams that have glaring faults. Both will lose their first playoff game, and if they play each other, Minnesota will scrape by and then inevitably lose to San Fran. So,
well, I'm glad that you're a psychic, my friend. So keep doing you.
We've been telling people to message us on our, talk shit to us. I don't mind the shit talking. I think it's fun. So, kudos to you for finally doing it. But, yeah, as always. Oh, follow us on Instagram. As always, peace.